안녕하세요, Cloud입니다. Hey guys, Cloud here. This is a recap of How to Study Korean Lesson 7. This is part 3 of conjugating verbs and adjectives. At this point, you should be familiar with all the conjugations. Today we're going to explore irregulars. Alright, let's get into it. This lesson divides into 6 parts. Each part discusses an irregular conjugation. Let's start with the easy one, the Sheit irregular. Words that end in Sheit in their stem, like chitta, are conjugated in the past and present tense by removing the Sheit. This doesn't happen in the future tense and doesn't happen in all formalities, so be sure to check the table in the lesson for all the scenarios. So chitta would become 지어요, 났다 would become 나요. Now there are some exceptions to this rule. Common exceptions are 웃다, which becomes 웃었어요, and 없다, which becomes 없어요. Alright, the tigat irregular. Words that end in tigat are conjugated by changing the tigat into a ria. Common words are 듣다, which then becomes 들어요 when you conjugate it, and 걷다, which becomes 걸어요. Common exceptions to this rule are words like 믿다, which becomes 믿었어요, and 받다, which becomes 받았어요. Alright, the 비읍 irregular. This one's a bit more common, so I'll have to get comfortable with it. Basically, we drop the bi읍 and we replace it with u. So for example, 쉽다, we'll drop the bi읍, we take the stem, and we replace it with u. So it becomes 쉬우, then we conjugate it. So then it becomes 쉬워요. Another example, 귀엽다, 귀여우, 귀여워요. Now, if the word being conjugated is an adjective, like 귀엽다, for example, and is being used in the middle of a sentence, like in this sentence here, I saw a cute cat. Well, cute is an adjective, which means we'd have to conjugate it like we learned previously, using either nian or un. Well, what would happen here is that we would drop the bi읍, and we would add the u, so it becomes 귀여우, and then we add the nian, 귀여운. So the sentence would be 저는 귀여운 고양이를 봤어요. Common exceptions to this rule are words like 좁다, which becomes 좁아요, 잡다, which becomes 잡아요, and 높다, which becomes 넓어요. Alright, the irregular. Words that end in the are conjugated based on the vowel that comes before it. Common examples are 바쁘다. Since the vowel before is a, it'll be conjugated as 바빠요. Another example is 예쁘다 becoming 예뻐요. I suggest looking at this part of the lesson again, since there are more scenarios and there are different times where the rule applies differently. So for example, 만들다 would become 만들어요, and 슬프다 becoming 슬퍼요. But you'll see these enough that you'll recognize them. They're very common words. So just be sure to check the lesson again. Alright, the irregular. During conjugation, when adding a or o to words that end in r, an additional ria is added. Also, instead of adding o or a, we're going to add ro or ra instead of the r. So basically what this means is, let's look at an example. 모르다 plus 아요. What you do is, you add an extra ria, 모르다, and then you get rid of the r and you add a, but instead of a, it's actually ra. So it becomes 몰라요. Alright, one more example. 다르다 plus 아요 becomes 다르다, 달라요. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, last but not least, the real irregular. We actually know how to conjugate this. It's pretty straightforward. 길다 becomes 길어요. There's nothing special about it. We can do that much. The confusing part comes when we start adding any one of these conjugations, like with 귀여운 we saw previously. Now, let's look at an example. This hair is long. 이 머리가 길어요. Conjugation is fairly simple. But let's say I wanted to say this. This long hair is very beautiful. Well, now I have to conjugate long, 길다, differently. What I would do is I would add the nian or un to 길다. Now let's look at the different things we could add again. So these four. Usually you'd think that you would use the second half because the word ends in a consonant. But actually, we're going to be using these four, the first pair. The reason we do that is we actually take the ria in the ria irregular and we drop it completely and we put the nian instead. So 길다 becomes 긴 머리, long hair. Another example would be adding 입니다 to 길다, and it becomes 깁니다. Alright, that's all for this lesson. That was a lot to take in. There's a lot of charts in the full lesson that might help you when you look at them, especially if you're a visual learner. We went through many irregulars, but we didn't go through all of them because this is just a short video. For the full list, make sure to check the lesson online. There's also a conjugation practice video, so make sure to check that out, and all the other videos that go along with this lesson. As usual, link for all of them will be in the description below. If you still have questions, leave a comment and we'll try to answer your question.